coming at this point of time related to Mahua, Moitra, and this is a big development indeed. We're told that next week there could be a full bench meeting of the Lokpal. This is a big news coming in at this point of time. In fact, after the expulsion from Lok Sabha, more trouble could be ahead for Mahua, Moitra. That's a big development that's in fact coming in as far as Mahua, Moitra is concerned. The full bench of the Lok Sabha, of the Lokpal, I beg your pardon, could be meeting next week. That's the information coming in. And Mahua, Moitra, after this expulsion by the Lok Sabha today, the matter may be referred to a probe. Let's go across to Mohit Bhatt, who's joining us for more on this. Mohit, take us through what exactly is the next step as far as this case is concerned after Lok Sabha. It could be the Lokpal that would be seized of this matter.
Well, Madhav, it seems that the trouble for Mahua Moitra is mounting after today her expulsion. What we are getting from our sources is that the full bench of Lokpal will sit next week, and then we know for a fact that how the preliminary inquiry in the allegations that have been leveled by and a complaint that has been filed by Nishikant Dubey has been filed by the CBI, which is the nodal agency which investigates the complaints that come to the Lokpal. What we are being told is a full bench will sit next week, and further action against the complaint that has been filed by Nishikant Dubey will follow. But we know for a fact that how the Lok Sabha Speaker also now has the domain whether the Lok Sabha Speaker recommends the recommendations regarding the unethical conduct and criminal conduct that the ethics committee say with regards to Mahua Moitra. So if Lok Sabha Speaker will forward that to the CBI or the concerned agencies, that will also be clubbed with this particular inquiry that the CBI is investigating against Mahua Moitra. So what we are being told is that next week some big news might come, that CBI might also call some people for investigation, for recording their statement next week. And as of now, what we know is that the full bench of Lokpal will sit next week. And in this particular case of Nishikant Dubey's complaint to the Lokpal regarding the allegations that have been leveled against Mahua Moitra, the further action will follow. So it seems that the trouble seems to be mounting against Mahua Moitra. Right. Now, after her expulsion, the CBI inquiry will take place.
All right, so it depends on the Lokpal's recommendation. Thanks so much for that quick update. Let's quickly take this across to our guest joining us, Charu Pragya, spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Riju Datta, spokesperson of the TMC. Riju Datta, coming to you first. After the Lok Sabha today, there could be perhaps more news in store for Mahua Moitra if that full bench meeting of the Lokpal does take place next week. Your comments.
Glad to see the Lokpal is still alive. We all thought that Lokpal was dead in this country. But I do not understand that Lokpal is alive and kicking against Mahua Moitra. But, molesters will sit inside the parliament. People accused of terrorist activities will sit inside the parliament. People with degrees will sit inside the parliament. People who abuse Muslims will sit inside the parliament. But Mahua Moitra, who raises questions against Mr. Narendra Modi and his Malik, Mr. Adani, will be expelled. This is the new India. The problem is that an ethics-less committee has done something unconstitutional by political vendetta. They have thrown out a vocal MP from the opposition. This is unprecedented, this is wrong, and the people of this country will give a different reply. My question is very simple. From insulting Mamata Banerjee to expelling Mahua Moitra, why is BJP anti-woman? Why cannot they stand a woman in power and authority? This shows how misogynist BJP is, and they will get a befitting reply in days to come.
Let me bring in Charu Pragya on that. Charu Pragya, you're protecting your own MPs who have serious charges against them. You're acting out of a vindictive agenda against Mahua Moitra. That's the charge coming in from the TMC MP. Please respond to that. Charu Pragya.
Good evening, Madhav. And in the face of all the rhetorics that the opposition is throwing, let me put some facts here. Fact number one, every single MP in the parliament signs a form where it is very clear that the email policy of Government of India prohibits them from sharing their login ID and details with anybody else, let alone someone who is not even an Indian citizen. Point one. Point two, Mahua Moitra herself has admitted to sharing this email ID and password with someone who was using it to further his own business interests. In fact, this login ID has been accessed from Dubai 47 times, several times from Washington DC. Point number three, She brazenly is comfortable admitting that she has taken gifts. She brazenly has never bothered to use the name Krishnanagar in Parliament. I have not heard her say Krishnanagar, her constituency's name in Parliament ever until today. Till she had to play the victim card. Today, she wants to mention the poor people who sent her to Parliament, whom she cheated, by the way. Last point, and a very relevant one, Madhav. In 2005, a similar case had happened. A cash for query case had happened. A similar thing had happened. The MPs were expelled from Parliament. Later, the judicial process went on.
I'm going to come back to both of you. I'm going to request you both to stay on with us. Riju Datta and Charu Pragya, requesting both of you to stay with us. We're going to come back to this debate in just a few minutes. We have to take a very quick break, but we'll be back with this discussion. All right, we're discussing what's happened as far as Mahua Moitra is concerned. The Lok Sabha, of course, deciding through a voice vote to adopt the Ethics Committee report that had demanded or recommended, rather, her expulsion. But let me go across to Charu Pragya. Charu Pragya, we were speaking to members of the TMC earlier, and they are saying that why not allow Mahua Moitra, and as far as the principle of natural justice is concerned, to speak about her own case. Her party demanded it several times, yet that was designed by the Treasury benches and by the presiding officer, that is the Speaker. Why?
So I don't like to keep quoting the 2005 case again and again, but even they were not allowed to speak. Mahua, in fact, got 3 chances to speak in front of the Ethics Committee. All the times she huffed and puffed and walked out. In fact, those who were a part of this Ethics Committee, Madhav, could have voted in favor of Mahua staying in Parliament had they decided to remain inside and vote instead of staging a walkout. So I think fair and square, the blame and the responsibility of everything that has happened lies on Mahua and her so-called allies. I don't even think these people are her allies if they couldn't even stay back and vote for her, to vote in her favor. Many a times she got a chance to speak out, and every time she's speaking to the media, she's very comfortable talking about her personal life, but when questioned inside the committee, she calls it very irregular and she has no answers to give. In fact, even when she's talking to the media, she admits to both the things, taking the gifts and sharing the login ID and password. See,
well, but the aspect of cash is yet to be probed, and of course, if there is a criminal inquiry, as has in fact been recommended by the Ethics Committee, that's something we'll have to look into, and how far they are able to prove those charges as well. Charu Pragya, I'd like to thank you for joining us this evening. Riju Datta was with us earlier as well. Slipping into a very quick break.